Hi, everybody. Yeah, really happy with the week we had. You know, to go on the road in our sport, everyone's going to have a 6-day travel schedule at some point where you're leaving on a Tuesday or Wednesday and you're out until Sunday night. This was ours against two very physically imposing teams with great size, good defensive structure, and dangerous on set pieces. So we had similar game plans through both games. Really happy with the way we came back in the second half. When we've conceded a goal in the first half, we've only come back to draw. That was our first comeback win of the season, which for our girls to get over that hump, I think was really big. There was a lot of energy and excitement to see that one go the way that it went. And I think that momentum really carried us into Sunday. I mean, to score 6 goals against anybody is really, really challenging. To do it against an elite program like Wisconsin, that was in the best form they've been all season, coming off of back-to-back top 10 wins for them. It was really impressive, and to do it, to score a lot of different goals in a variety of ways with a variety of players continues to be a theme in our well-balanced attack. And so, feel really good. We're basically at the halfway point, 5 games in the Big Ten play, 6 remaining. Feel good about where we are. Obviously, some things we want to continue to improve upon. With a really, really massive game with Ohio State Sunday.
When you talk about the comeback win, I'm curious what that gives you in terms of like making players believe. Because you can talk about belief all you want as a coach, but for players to grasp it and see it, is that what that does for you, or is there other benefits?
Yeah, especially when we haven't done that yet. Our Achilles heel at times has been slow starts. Various times during the season. I don't know that we started slow in this Minnesota match. We just made a couple bad decisions, bad plays in those moments that put us behind the 8 ball. I think halftime we had a very honest conversation about we got to decide who we are. Are we the team that can come all the way back, or are we just a team that's gonna be good enough, which is to come back for a draw? And it's very common in our sport. And I think that belief has always been really important to all of our teams. I think for this one in particular, to come all the way back and get the 3 points on the road was massive, especially as quickly as we did in the second half. Because when we put moments together like that, I think we're one of the best teams in the country. And we saw it almost 90 minutes against UCLA. So we continue to see these pictures of what we can be, and I think that's been really motivating for our group.
With a long road trip, what did you learn about the team throughout the last 6 days, and what was the plane riders like back here?
This group really loves each other. When you're on the road for 6 days with anybody, you're going to get sick of each other at some point. Usually these road trips, you come back and when you land in Detroit, you've still got that hour and a half drive back. And that's really the tell sign for me. If the group's kind of going into their own world, independent, it's usually a pretty quiet trip, and everyone's ready for a Monday break before we come back together Tuesday. And they brought their speaker on the bus and did karaoke and did all the things the whole way back. And we had some players out of character that kind of stepped up and did some of that stuff too, which was fun. So I think this group is really coming together. I think the belief, as we talked about, is at an all-time high right now within the group, as it should be when you secure those kind of results. But what I've liked about this group all the way through from the start of the season to now is that they're really hungry for the work. And I know that we'll have an incredibly intense training session tomorrow. But to have that belief behind it and just have that chemistry continue to grow, I think will be super important.
Coach, kind of bouncing off of that a little bit, can you just talk about the growth of leadership as well, handling adversity early in the season and then getting some results that you were looking for here just recently?
Yeah, I think, from the start of the season, we talked a lot about the leadership we lost a year ago and the experience we had. We had 7 grad seniors last year, Justina Gaynor, that had been such a leader even early in her career. And after Rutgers, we really challenged our group about that and looking for more specific and intentional pictures of what that leadership is. And I think we've gotten a lot of that out of Bella Najera. We've gotten a lot of that out of Kayla Briggs. Now she feels more and more comfortable and confident. Kayla has always led through example of her hard work, but now she's starting to be more vocal. When something's not exactly right in practice, she'll stop the group and point it out and ask for more while demonstrating it herself. I think accountability is such an important part of leadership because it's easy to say, hey, we need to do more, or you need to do this. But I think the leadership has taken the big step of saying, I need to do this, come do it with me. that kind of kind of relaxes everyone to then, look to that person to go do it as opposed to, shifting blame. And I think that's where it's really changed since our Rutgers game.
You guys have the last 3 games. I think the scoring total is like 12-1. You guys against opponents. I guess what's kind of been working for the offense the last 3 games? Maybe that's new from where it was before.
Yeah, man, scoring goals is fun. To be on a spell like we are right now. We got the top offense in the Big Ten. We're one of the top 10 offenses in the country right now by the numbers standpoint. We were incredibly efficient against Wisconsin. Again, to score 6 goals is pretty crazy. To do it against a team like Wisconsin's even more so. But we were wildly efficient. We had 10 shots, 8 shots on goal. We scored 6 times. That's well above the norm, well above our norm. So efficiency was key to that. I think there's a really strong connection. We've kind of narrowed our playing rotation down too now at this point in the season, where players know exactly what position they're going to be in, what the partnerships are, and the strengths of players and how to play into those, which has made a difference. But it's also been really massive for us, for Emmy Sargent to get her first goal this season at Minnesota. When she starts scoring goals, and now Kennedy Bell has even more time and space a little bit, she becomes even that much more dangerous. And Kayla Briggs has started to find the rhythm too, and jumping up from her last school to this level has started to figure that out. So I think a lot of it's chemistry, but yeah, scoring a lot of goals, a lot of fun. But as you get ready for Sunday in Ohio State, they're coming off. I know they just won 3-0. I think that's 5 straight shutouts for them. So they're going to be in very good defensive form. So a lot of things still to work on, but like where the group's at.
Sort of along with that, I mean, the 12-1, there's also the 1 on the other side. It seems like Noelle has really settled into her role as the starting keeper.
Yeah, she has, and we've decided to move forward, naming her the starter as we go forward in the season. I think she's earned it. Kennedy gave an incredible battle in that role. Continues to grow as a player, and I know she'll continue to stay ready. As we talk about in our program, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready, and I know she certainly lives by that. But Noelle has separated herself a little bit. This was a big week for her because of her size and her aerial presence. We thought it was important against Minnesota and Wisconsin that deliver a lot of balls from wide areas, have a lot of box entries that way. And it's really stepped up, and I think some of that has also maybe settled the team down because they're both incredible goalkeepers, but they have a little bit different styles. And as a back 4 player, you don't know necessarily this, here I might shield the ball versus here I gotta go win the ball, or this goalkeeper is gonna collect it, as one example. So I think we've settled in a little bit with that. Incredible goal that Minnesota scored, so that was nothing on Noe, but feel really good about the decision and the team's, embracing of that.
Anything else?
I got one. Jeff, 9 goals against Milwaukee is one thing, but 6 against a Big Ten opponent. How unusual is that?
Very. I think the stat I saw was Wisconsin hasn't conceded 6 goals in 16 years. So, and just based on the number of texts I got from other college coaches around the country and my colleagues, I think it's recognized to be very rare. We've also been on the other side of that, conceding 5 to Xavier earlier this season. So when teams are really efficient, score lines like that pop up. I don't know that we were 6 goals better than our opponent on Sunday, but we'll take all 6 goals we got.
15-0 against schools from Wisconsin. Can you schedule more?
Sounds like you're onto something there.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks.